Stacy has that in her.
Yeah, I mean,
in her knowledges too.
I say, get to know me today, because everybody on here, I'm sure I've never met any of you guys, but I'm all over the place. So you can always search me and just Google me, and I teach. I'm sure everybody on here is the same way. I teach people how to invest in real estate. Primarily, I teach self-storage investing because that's what I do. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about 10 ways to 10x your business. And, in order to achieve the legacy that you want. That's what I'm going to be talking about. So again, Stacy Rossetti, let's introduce myself. Can everybody see my screen? Is it good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, perfect.
Let me see if I can just click over here. I'm sure what I got to do. I'm not good at this stuff. So I usually do a flip chart. If y'all know me, I just do flip charts. So let's see if I can figure this out here. There it goes. Okay. Okay, so who is Stacy Rossetti? Who's this like crazy person on your screen right now? I actually, as of this week, I live in an RV. All right, and we have been traveling the country for the last couple of years. And I just we decided a couple of years ago that I wanted to prove to my students that you could be anywhere in the world and invest in real estate, and as primarily invest in self-storage. But number one, I am a full-time RV traveler, and that's what we do. We have me, my husband, and my daughter. And we travel the country and essentially visit a lot of like national parks, and we homeschool our daughter, and that's our goal is to spend as much time as we can with her. But what I wanted to point out is that when you start talking about yourself, when you say I am, right, what comes after that is essentially who you're going to become, right? So for me, when I say I am, I'm always going to say, what I want to become or who I think I am, right? So for me personally, I am a connector, right? That's one of the things that I know about myself is I'm very, very good at putting people together. I'm very, very good at matching people in what they want, and all different types of scenarios. I am generous. I think that one of the ways to when we're going to talk about this later in the presentation, but like one of the ways to get what you want is to be as generous as you possibly can, right? So for me personally, I am generous. All right. Another thing is I am a facilitator. I'm a facilitator. And that's basically what I do. If you start following me and follow what I do, you're going to see that basically I am teaching people how to invest, but what I'm doing is bringing other people in as well too, that I think are going to be perfect for you and what you need as well. So I am a facilitator. And finally, I am a money magnet. I'm a money magnet. I am very, very good at raising money and finding money. All right. So my question to you and my advice to you is when you start thinking about who you are, what are you going to put after the words I am? Because the truth of the matter is whatever you're putting after the words I am is who you're going to become. And we are talking right now about legacy and creating the legacy that you want, right? So that legacy is I am blank. So what I'd like to do is I would like for you to put into the chat, please, what you would say if I asked you, who are you? Can you put into the chat what you would say? I am blank. So I can hear. First of all, I want to know if you are listening. And second of all, I want to know, what you are. So good. Alden says, I am a networker. I love that. That is awesome. And Valerie says, I'm an enroller. I am passionate. And Cassette says, I am a connector. Awesome. I love it. And that is really who you're going to become. The more times that you say that, then that's what you're going to become. Everybody else, please take your time and just think about it. If you are something, who are you, or what do you want to become? I love it. Okay. So what is my legacy? All right. So my legacy does not have anything to do with me. My legacy is that I want my daughter to become the best person that she can possibly be, right? It has nothing to do with real estate, nothing to do with money, nothing to do with doing, owning as many storage facilities as possible. My legacy is actually who my daughter is going to become. So this is my daughter. Her name is Lillian. She's 5. And she's the best thing that ever happened to me. I always say, like, she's the best thing that happened to me during the day. I married my husband in the evening. That was the best thing that happened to me at night, right? So those are the 2 best things in my life. So my legacy is, who will my daughter become, right? And I want you to start thinking about this. What is your legacy? What do you want? We're all here to learn about real estate. We're all here to learn about how to better our business. But the truth of the matter is that you have to have that. You have to have that end goal. You have to have that why in the end. So my why is Lillian, right? So Lillian, I created this acronym for Lillian, right? And I created what an acronym, which is like the acronym for legacy, right? So my legacy is that I want Lillian to become loving. I want her to be empathetic. I want her to be generous. I want her to be altruistic, compassionate, and I want her to know what her why is so that I can help her to figure that out and to achieve that, right? So that's my legacy, is to figure out what my daughter's legacy is, right? So I want you guys to think about this as well too. What is your legacy and what is your why? All right, now the 10 ways that you can 10x your business. All right, the 10 ways that you can 10x your business. Number 1, you have to have an abundance personality. You have to have an abundance mentality. There is no such thing as competition. There is enough to go around, right? And so this is one thing that in my life that I have been focusing on. I know, and that's why I teach. That's exactly why I teach, because I know that there is enough to go around. So I want you to also consider having an abundance personality. To 10x your business, you have to understand that there's enough to go around. Number 2, you have to ask so that you shall receive, right? Ask and you shall receive. And this is one thing I'm telling you that a lot of people have trouble with. How do I raise money? How do I own millions and millions of dollars of investment property? How do I raise millions and millions of dollars? I have a fund right now where I'm raising $10 million. How do I do that? Guess what? I ask people for money. That's it. That's what I do. Now, asking is a mental block for most people. Most people do not want to ask in order to get what they want. They just want it to fall in their lap. It totally pisses me off, right? You got to get out there and you got to work for it. Now, I want you to read the book, Unfuck Yourself. Has anybody ever read this book before? Put it into the chat if you read this book, okay? If you have not read this book, this is one of the best books out there to help you understand that essentially everything that's going on in your head is you just screwing yourself up, right? So you got to learn how to unfuck yourself. You have to learn how to ask so that you can receive whatever it is that you want. If you can't do it yourself, then you got to ask for it, right? Now, how do you get it? This is all about how you 10x your business and how you achieve your legacy. And I'm telling you, these are the reasons why I've been so successful, and I'm sharing them with you. I want you to understand it's not about getting out there and grinding. It's not about getting out there and working yourself to death, because guess what? I don't work a lot. All right. It's about thinking smarter, right? Another one, number 3, is you have to be resourceful. Be resourceful. I tell my students all the time, the best investors are the most resourceful investors. The best investors are the ones that can think outside the box. If you follow me, you'll see I am so big on creative deal structuring, so big on learning how to structure deals that are not just put 20% down and go out and buy a property. And guess what? I own millions and millions of storage facilities, millions and millions of dollars of storage facilities, and I haven't put a dime of my own money into any of it. All right. Why? Because I'm resourceful. I have learned how to structure deals so that I don't have to put any money into them. It's called creative deal structuring. So if you want to be a good investor, you have to learn how to structure deals creatively. Okay. So what I'm saying is that you have to get out there and you have to solve other people's problems, right? You have to solve other people's problems. You have to be creative with how you're thinking about your deals. All right. Let me see if I got everything on that. Don't ask why. Oh yeah, that's another thing, is do not ask why people are going to give you so much money. Don't ask why people are going to do things for you. All right. Just accept it. Right. That's one of the things that I've learned. I just literally got off a call with somebody right before this session, and somebody that wants to get into my coaching program. And she's like, well, if I decide not to get into your coaching program, do you have like any programs where I could just like lend you money? Right. And I was just like, yeah, of course I have that, And she's like, I may not want to get into the coaching program. I may just want to get into, may just want to lend you money. And I'm not like, why would you want to do that? You should learn how to do this yourself. Right. No, I'm like, sure, give me the money. Right. Don't ask why. Do not ask why, just accept. Okay, next. Oh yeah, the question is, can you pull 10, 20, 30, or 100K out of your ass? In order to be able to be successful in the real estate investing world or in any business, you have to be able to pull money out of your ass, right? So you have to learn how to be creative. You have to learn how to ask, and you have to learn how to be resourceful, right? I'm telling you, these are the reasons why I have been so successful. Now, building credibility, you have to build credibility in order to get people to give you money, in order for contractors to work for you, in order for owners to sell you their properties, in order for anything, you have to have credibility. You basically have to have credibility. So you need to always be thinking about, how are you building credibility right now, right? So guess what? You can go out and you can follow me anywhere, right? Valerie does a great job of this. Valerie does a great job. She's getting out, she's making videos and stuff like this, and all she's doing is trying to build credibility, right? Why? So she can she can get people to give her money and do partner deals and things like this together. I mean, ultimately, that's the reason why she's doing it. Y'all should be doing this too. So follow Valerie, follow me, so y'all can see what we're doing, and just copy us, right? Copy us. Okay. Let me see. I'm having a hard time with my script, my things. Oh, wait, did I miss something? Oh yeah. Make sure that you take advantage of social media and online marketing. Okay. Because now obviously Facebook is down right now, which is like the whole world is going to crap. But when Facebook gets back up, you need to be taking advantage of social media, right? I mean, I have bought houses and sold houses, bought storage facilities and sold storage facilities, and I've gotten private lenders all by just posting out what I'm doing on social media. All right. So if you're not taking advantage of social media, you are losing out on all the opportunities that are out there. So you've got to take advantage of this. Okay. Cash flow. You have to worry about cash flow. You have to worry about cash flow. This is the hardest thing that a business owner does. And it's hard for me too. As soon as I get money, I'm like, I need to go buy me a storage facility, right? But you have to worry about cash flow. And also, I am a huge, huge proponent of multiple streams of income. In fact, one of my goals that you'll see, one of my goals in life is one new stream of income every single year. My husband and I have been adding one new stream of income to our portfolio every year for the last 10 years. All right. So you need to be considering, how many different ways are you making money? How many ways are you making money? If you have one way and that's a job, then you need to start focusing on making money in other ways, right? Because you need to have multiple streams of income. All right. You need to learn how to manage your money properly, and you need to have different ways of making money. It's moving around. Community. All right. Yes. All right. So this is where I'm going to pitch REI USA. All right. So I own a company called REI USA. REI USA is an online education platform for real estate investors. It teaches you people, essentially what it is that investors across the country come on and just teach people how to invest in real estate, all different types of topics. So please go and go and check out REI USA. And I'll give you a link. I think, did I give you the link, Valerie, to the free course? I'm not sure. Anyways, if not, we'll give you the link. Yeah. But you have to have community. You have to have a community surrounding you in order to keep you accountable and keep you inspired, right? That's why I love like our coaching program, is because I'm seeing all these people doing all these different deals, and I'm like, crap, I need to get out there and do some deals, right? So make sure you surround yourself with some sort of community that's like inspiring you and holding you accountable. All right. So I suggest REI USA if you haven't checked it out already. But any community that holds you accountable is great. Okay.
Your link is in the chat.
Okay,
so
good.
just want to encourage everyone to click on that and see it. And it will be going out tomorrow as well.
Okay, and the link is to a free course. It's a free course on how to get started in real estate investing. All right, that's basically what it is through REI USA. You don't have to join to get the free course or anything. It's just a free course. It's my course, how to get started in real estate investing. It takes you through like the first 6 steps. All right, so you can watch that. It's a free course. Okay, another thing that I'm very, very good at, and this is one of the reasons why I feel like a lot of people don't succeed, is they cannot delegate. You cannot do everything. Essentially, you are not good at everything. And most people, including my husband, a really, really hard time delegating. All right. And my husband's one of the ones like, get out of the way, let me do it. All right. And he'll just do it like that. Right. But I'm so good at just handing things off. In fact, I'm like too good at this. Right. I'm like, now I don't want to do any work. I just delegate it. So don't get that way. Right. But essentially you have to delegate in order to be able to do everything. You're not good at everything. So you have to relinquish that control. All right. So you have to delegate. When you sit there, I tell my students, like when you're sitting there and you're just like, it's taking forever for you to do something, that means that you should not be doing it. All right. That means that you should hire somebody to do that one task for you. And you can go on to Fiverr or Upwork or whatever it is and pay somebody $20 to get that thing done. Right. I had this fund that I did. We have the fund for the storage facilities. I was trying to do it on my own. It was taking forever. And then finally I hired like a consultant to help me do it. And he got it done like 6 weeks. It took me like a year to hire somebody to do it in 6 weeks. I wasted like a whole year. All right. So even I had a hard time delegating, but because I really wanted to just get in there and do it myself and like learn. But after a while, I was just like, hey, I'm getting this thing done. I need to hire somebody to do this. And he just did it so quickly. That's what I'm saying. Delegate. If you see yourself doing something that is taking you forever, that means time to move on. Hire somebody else. Okay, another thing, don't be greedy. All right. So don't try to push the limit on that house you're trying to sell. Right? Don't try to cut corners on those houses you're trying to rehab, right? Don't try to, cut corners on the contractor that you're you're hiring, right? So this is something that I've learned over the past 10 years of investing is do not be greedy, all right? Because it's just going to bite you in the butt. That's all it's going to do is bite you in the butt, all right? So don't be greedy. Just sell it and move on to the next deal. I promise it's going to be so much better. Another thing too is less is more, right? Less is more. So what I mean is like, especially when you're rehabbing homes or doing like whatever, just keep it simple. Keep it simple. I feel like people are just going like way overboard on like rehabbing, trying to make things so customized, whatever, like less is more, especially nowadays. You could just sell stuff. Okay, another thing is education. You have to learn, you have to keep educating yourself. So I suggest REI USA, but essentially even like, all these kind of like virtual summits and stuff like this are awesome ways to educate yourself and put you in front of people that are like, just out there, trying to help as many people as we can, right? So education is key. I am a huge proponent of education. I coach and teach, but I also have coaches. In fact, the only reason I've been successful is because I have coaches, right? I'm the type of person like, I ain't got time to figure it out. Like, just tell me what to do, right? So I hire a coach and they just tell me. And so you have to, as I said, always be educating yourself and surrounding yourself with people that want to do that as well too. Another thing that I'm very, very good at is giving back. right? And I say be generous and give back. When you start getting, when you start giving back, essentially what happens is that you, like, it comes like tenfold to you, right? So I feel like one of the main reasons I'm so successful is because I am so generous, right? I'm teaching, I'm trying to give back as much as I can, and in return, the universe gives me so much more. So please give back as much as you can. And then another thing is to have goals, right? You have to have goals. We all know this. What's your goals? I put my goals down here. My goal is to travel to one new country a year, and also to start one new multiple stream of income a year. I've been traveling to one new country a year since I was 18 years old. I've been to 40 different countries. I've started a new stream of income every year for the past 10 years, but we have probably around 15 to 20 different ways that we make money now. And it's just one step at a time, right? It's really just one step at a time, but you have to have those goals. Actually, I would love to hear if anybody wants to put in the chat what their goals are, right? If there's anybody in the chat that has any goals, I would love to hear those as well too. All right, so have some goals and just take one step at a time. And finally, I say, keep it simple, right? Don't make it so complicated. I say this to my husband all the time, make things so complicated. Keep it simple, right? So that means just like one step at a time, do things just at your own pace. Don't overdo it. There's no right or wrong way. And I always get stuck in this like comparing. I'm comparing to other people. That's why I really try not to follow a lot of people, because then I start getting like overwhelmed. I really am in my own lane, and I'm following my journey. I'm keeping it as simple as I possibly can. All right. And then systems, right? Systematizing your company, systematizing your departments. I'm super, super systematized on everything that I do. We try to be very organized. And I really recommend this. My husband sold his home inspection company. He had a home inspection company for 10 years. And the reason that he got to sell his home inspection company is because he basically just handed over all his systems, right? When the company that wanted to buy his company looked at his business, they were like, oh yeah, you really got this kind of organized. Yeah, we'll buy this, right? And your company is valued on like your systems, really. It's valued on either, if you're an online marketing company, it's valued on like your email list or your systems. And if you're a regular company, it's going to be valued on your systems and how much income is coming in through that. I say go electronic. Essentially, we live in an RV and travel the country. Up till now, it's been 8 months out of the year, but so we can travel. We travel anywhere in the world, and we just basically live off of our laptop and our phone. And this is totally doable in the real estate investing world. Totally doable. You just have to like systematize yourself so that you can do this, right? And there is nothing wrong with being cookie cutter. All right. There's nothing wrong. Everybody's always like, I got to be like different, right? The truth of the matter is I make all my money on the same property every single time. That's it. When I was rehabbing homes, it was a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house that I made into a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house without changing the footprint. I did 150 of those. And then in the storage investing world, all I do is I buy facilities that are around $500,000. Every single facility is around $500,000. That's it. And it's the same facility over and over and over. Nothing wrong with that at all, right? Everybody's like always wants to be different and try this and customize. But the truth of the matter is like McDonald's and Starbucks, they all cookie cutter. All right. So there ain't nothing wrong with being cookie cutter. All right. All right. Okay. So how do I 10x my business? These are the ways that I 10x my business. Oh, let me go back. These are the ways that I 10x my business. I have an abundant mentality. I ask for whatever I want. I delegate. All right. I build credibility. I systematize everything I do. I surround myself with a community that supports me. I educate myself all the time. I'm resourceful, and I can pull 100 grand out of my ass at any time. Right. I'm not greedy. All right. I don't push the limits anymore. I learned those lessons. I try to keep it simple. I focus on my cash flow. Right. Make sure I always have money in the bank. I give back as much as I possibly can. I have goals and I stick to those goals. And this is what I do to create this legacy. This is how I've created the legacy that I have. And so that is basically my advice to you.
I love this. I super appreciate you sharing this direction with us, because, you know, the storage facilities, the mechanics behind it, but yeah, if you're lacking in any of that that you just shared, you know, you might get one facility, but then what? You know, if you were being greedy, competitive, all those things that you said, you might just be stuck on that one and not actually be creating anything.
Well,
So,
that's why most people only own one.
right? Yeah, so I absolutely love that. I can totally relate to that, because when you first get started, especially, you feel that urgency, that competition, and so you do get greedy and kind of caught up in all those things. And all of us are leaders. You know, as a leader, you don't want to delegate, ask for help. You're growing, and so you don't feel abundant. And so I think every single one of those pieces is so powerful, and I hope everyone really absorbs it and not just kind of have it a checklist. Like, really take in each one of those that she shared, and hopefully we'll, you know, maybe be able to share that one last page or something on the following email, because yeah, all of those are so great to make sure that you utilize, implement, become. That was awesome.
Yeah, no, I see it in my students all the time. They get out there and they start and they're all fired up, getting out there pumping, looking for deals. And then it just tapers off because it doesn't happen. You know, and they say, well, there's just too much competition. And the truth of the matter is there's enough to go around. It's you not making making it a priority, really. There's definitely enough to go around out there. You just have to make it a priority.
Exactly. No, yeah, because I hear that. I mean, I've done that excuse many a times as well, and I hear it and see it too. So I love that. And as we work with each other, I mean, you build your team, you build your network, you build your resources, you build your connections. So there's power in every angle of what you just said. So
let me just ask real fast, everybody that listened, what is the, like, of the things that you heard, what's the one or two things that you're like, you know what, I really need to work on that? If you could put that into the chat, that would be awesome too. And just own it, right? It's like, crap, I am greedy or whatever. Yeah, I don't educate myself enough or whatever, you know, own it, right? So put it into the chat. I tell you all the time, like I said, the delegating thing took me a year to hire that damn person. Should have hired him a year ago. You know, and it wasn't even that much money, honestly, you know, so yeah, so that stuff too as well.
As you
So
run
good,
a
I think
business, you cut costs when you don't realize how much you're losing by the money you think you're saving. So
exactly, right,
yeah.
right, yeah. And nowadays people do stuff for like so cheap. Go to Fiverr, man. They'll do some crazy things for you for like $5. It's not, it used to be $5. Now it's like 10 or 15 bucks. Okay.
Yeah.
So Alden says creating a legacy is pretty much our tagline. I love it. Yes. Okay. Delegate, some more of the same. Delegate. Okay. Everybody got to delegate. It blows my mind, all the crap people pay thousands of dollars a year to store when you did just get rid of all. Okay. Everybody gets that. And I live in an RV. Yes. Yes. I live in an RV.
But yeah, I love that. I mean, not only, yes, you live in an RV, but you've created an opportunity to live the lifestyle that you want and the flexibility that you want. I think that's a huge takeaway as well. You know, people either go out of the country for 6 months at a time, you know, people have multiple houses, or you go in an RV and you move around. It's the opportunities you've created for yourself and your family.
Yeah, see, our goal is, I mean, essentially our goal is, I should have put that down as one of our other goals, is more time together. That's our goal, is really more time together. And we made that decision in like the beginning of 2019. And we had already been investing in real estate for almost 10 years, you know, so it took us 10 years to really get to the point where we were like, okay, now is the time to really just focus on like, how can we retire? How can we just spend time with Lillian? And that's what we've been focusing on, just really getting that done.
I love that. So I definitely encourage all of you guys to reach out. I mean, Stacy has obviously created multiple businesses that I feel that can hit on different aspects of your business that you're trying to do. You know, either if you're just looking at an asset class or encompassing, you know, your true business and your legacy and stuff. And so reach out. Like I said, we have the link below, has all the information there as well. And
yeah, I teach at the REI USA, but so does so many other awesome, amazing teachers. And that link is to the course, the free